Hey guys, welcome to my Blind Mama's Messy Kitchen. If you are new to our channel, welcome. My name is Jerry. I'm a stay-at-home mom who once in a while I like to do these what's for dinner videos, and I just happen to be totally blind. So if you would like to see more what's for dinner videos, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell to see more of our fun videos that we do. And sorry for the abrupt ending at the end of this video. We were in a really big hurry and I wanted to make sure we got it recorded for you, but it's a pretty fast ending, so I just wanted to clear that up. So stay tuned. Here's some yummy food for you.
Speech off.
So what I have going on here is I had some boneless, skinless chicken breast and breast pieces in my freezer that really needed to be used. So I put those in the crock pot with a can of cream of chicken soup, one of those 10-ounce cans, 4 cups of chicken broth that I made with the chicken bouillon powder. I think it's Knorr. It could be a store brand. I don't remember. Anyway, chicken bouillon powder, and then a teaspoon and a half of garlic powder, about a half a teaspoon of oregano, half a teaspoon of parsley, and about a half a teaspoon of rosemary. And I'm just going to stir that around, and then what I'm going to do, I'm holding the camera with my right hand, stirring with my left hand, and in case you didn't know, I am blind, so this is a cute trick. So what I'm going to do now is I've diced up some celery, onions, and carrots, so I'm going to dump those in. Stir that around. See if I can switch hands here. I just can hardly do anything with my left hand. Okay, just give this a good stir. I've got it set on low because using the crock pot on low setting is better than heating up the kitchen with the oven at 400 degrees on a 113 degree day outside. Yeah, so we're just gonna do this. And then I think I'm going to use up my can of biscuits that I have, can of Grand's biscuits, to make dumplings. So later today, when the chicken is done and shreddable, I will quarter those biscuits and drop them in here. I'll make sure the crock pot's good and boiling and drop them in there and see what happens. Should be good. Okay, so this is what happens. I put the Grand's biscuits in here. First I flattened them a little bit, and then I quartered them with a knife, and then I just dropped them into the boiling broth, put the lid back on, and I let them boil in here for about an hour because I just wanted to make sure they were good and done. Can't stand a doughy biscuit, and I like that. They come out really cool. So here is Caitlin's plate. She's the only one I've dished up so far. So the chicken and dumplings and a yummy spinach salad. There's some other lettuces in there. It's a 50-50 blend. Some tomatoes, French fried onions, almond slices, croutons, and she wants ranch dressing. So that's what we're having for dinner tonight. So for tonight, we're keeping it super simple. This is just one of those skillet dinners by Bird's Eye. And if you've never tried this, it is really good, and it's good to have around if you just don't feel like cooking, because there's really very little effort involved in this. It's the Bird's Eye white chicken with garlic sauce, and it's like a nice garlic buttery sauce, and you just put a little butter in your pan. At least that's what I do. Put some butter in your pan and like half a cup of water, and this is the family size bag, and it's got broccoli, pasta, carrots, and really good white chicken pieces, and it's really filling. And we're just gonna have this tonight with some sliced French bread, and that is it. That's a very simple dinner. So that's what we're having tonight. So this dish is a sausage spaghetti cheesy one-pot meal. I kind of got the idea from Mrs. Dickinson, 1910. She did a jambalaya mac and cheese, and I wanted to make that, but I don't have all the ingredients for that. So I'm just gonna go with this, kind of make it up as I go along. similar. If you haven't checked out Mrs. Dickinson 1910, please do so. So now that you're tired of staring at this pot, I'm going to dump in some Hillshire Farm smoked sausage that I sliced into discuses. Oh yeah. In the pot, I have about 1.5 tablespoons of olive oil. I swear, that smell of this smoked sausage frying is like, it smells so good. I'm gonna get that stirred around. While it's doing its thing, I am going to dump in some diced onions. I already did all my prep work here for time's sake. Dump in some diced onions. I'm going to saute this for about 5 minutes before I add the garlic. So, don't touch that dial. Okay, so that's been sauteing for about 5 minutes. And in this thing, garlic press that I got from Pampered Chef, I have 2 small garlic cloves and another little piece of one. And I did go on ahead and peel them. You don't have to with the Pampered Chef, but sometimes it is easier regardless. So I'm going to squeeze some garlic in here so it can smell even better. Oh yeah.
Hey, you flung garlic at me.
Okay, that smells good. Give it a quick stir.
Why is the camera focusing on the pot? Oh, focus. Thank you.
Caitlin is camera girl while she's munching away on some raw onions.
Yep.
Okay, now what we're going to do is add a can of diced tomatoes.
My eyes.
Hopefully it's not steaming up too bad.
No.
1 can of chicken broth. It's 2 cups chicken broth.
The camera barely even sees the. Well, the cam. How do you say that?
Turn my heat back up a little.
Barely even. Yeah.
And a 1/2 cup of milk.
Oh.
You can use half and half or heavy cream if you want to. But I'm trying to be a little bit healthier, even though it's not the healthiest meal. Now I'm going to look for a spoon. Okay, so I brought it to a good rolling boil. And I'm just going to break in some angel hair pasta or thin spaghetti. You can use any pasta you want. I have a lot of spaghetti in the cabinet, so I thought I better use some of this. And I like to try to break it into thirds and fourths if I can. I'm going to turn it down just a little.
Oh, that just flung.
Spaghetti flying. Whoop, there went another one.
They're throwing garlic and spaghetti at me.
Throwing garlic and spaghetti.
Oh, hold on. I gotta wipe the camera.
Sorry.
There. Say hello to my finger.
Okay, I'm going to stir this up.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be enough pasta. Do you ever think, like, that's not enough pasta, so you just keep adding more pasta, and then when it's all done cooking, you're like, holy moly, that's way too much pasta. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to let that boil until the pasta's finished. Actually, I'm going to turn it to simmer, which would be the click down at the bottom of my burner knob here. And And then I'm going to find the lid.
Focus.
Oh goodness. I'm gonna find the lid and I'll get back to you in just a second. Okay, so I'm gonna add in half a teaspoon of Italian seasoning. And then I did add in about 1/4 a teaspoon of pepper. And then we're gonna do a half a teaspoon of parsley. Maybe a little more. I'm not gonna add any salt because between the chicken broth and the sausage and the tomatoes, it's already plenty salty. I took the lid off. Ooh, now it's really aromatic. Took the lid off to let some of the liquid cook down because I don't want it to be a soup, you know. So we'll give this just a few more minutes. Okay, so this cooked down a lot. The pasta is done, I know because I tasted it. And in this measuring cup, it's 1 cup of cheese altogether, but it's a mixture of mozzarella, grated Parmesan, and yes, cheddar jack. I thought, why the heck not, right? So I'm gonna sprinkle this in here, or dump it, whichever happens to be. I'm gonna turn off my heat, stir this around just a little bit. It is really good. Well, what I tasted of it anyway. How could you go wrong with sausage, pasta, and cheese? So I'm gonna stick the lid back on, probably remove it from the heat, and then I will show you what it looks like when it's all ready. Okay, here it is. The cheese is all melted, and it is going to be delicious. So we're gonna have this tonight with a little salad, and that is it.
Speech off.
Okay, so here I am recording this myself again. So I hope I'm showing you this lovely London broil that is in this Pyrex. They had these on sale and they were so cheap. So we bought 2 packs of them, and there was 2 huge London broils in each one. Yeah, there was 2. I think one of them had 3. And so we vacuum sealed them in our food saver, and so tonight we pulled this one out, and I'm going to try to slow roast it in the oven, which I've never done. I've always done the crock pot for things like this, and my husband has slow roasted them in the oven and they come out so good, so I thought I would try it while he's at work. And so I like to stab this full of holes to get the juices down in there after I season it all up. I'm doing it with my left hand, which is not very easy to do. And then I'm going to go through and hit it with some mustard seasoning that I like to make. It's just going to be some yellow mustard, some pepper, fresh garlic, some savory seasoning. It's actually called savory, that I got in a spice rack. So I assume it has all the good things in it for red meat. Maybe a little bit of Italian seasoning, onion powder. We'll see. And I'll show you what that looks like when I get it all seasoned up, because that takes 2 hands.
Speech off.
Speech off. Okay, so this is my mustard mixture that I made, and I just put, dumped it out on top of the London broil, and then I'm just going to go through with my basting brush and try, without being able to see what I'm doing, to kind of paint this mustard seasoning all over this meat. And my instinct is to touch it with my hand to see if I'm getting it, which I'll probably do in a second. But it ended up being yellow mustard, a tablespoon of garlic powder because I'm out of fresh garlic. I can't believe it. A teaspoon of onion powder, a half a teaspoon of savory seasoning, and a half a teaspoon of dried rosemary. So that's what's in this. So I'm just gonna, I don't know how I'm doing. Are you laughing? Hope I'm doing good. Anyway, I'll check in a second. And I'm going to throw in some onions, some brown gravy, some baby red potatoes, and some baby carrots, and I'll show you that in 3, 2, 1.
Speech off.
Okay, so got some baby red potatoes in there, some baby carrots. I just like cooking it all together at one time. I don't want to go back in later and add the carrots and potatoes. I just do it all at once. And then I poured 1 packet of brown gravy over the top. Well, brown gravy mixed with water, of course. Poured it all over the top and topped the roast with some sliced onions. The brown gravy will help with the flavor, of course, and some moisture. And I'm going to seal it up nice and tight with some foil. Slow roast it at 300 for possibly up to 3 hours. We'll see. And I'll show you what it's like when it's all done. Okay, so here's our London broil. I already took the foil off a few minutes ago and then I stuck it back in there. Smells wonderful. It's been roasting for 3 hours. And I just wanted to show you this real quick. We still have some more things to do, so we're not plating up right now. But this is what we're having for dinner tonight. And I hope you enjoy this What's for Dinner video. If you did, please give us a thumbs up. And don't forget to come back and visit us again at
My Blind Mama's Messy Kitchen.
Bye.